What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. All right, so hopefully you guys saw my video where I talked about all the things that I hate about the 2022 Toyota Tundra, and I was pretty brutal in that video. I didn't hold any punches, and some people even commented that I was so negative to the new Tundra that they didn't even want to buy the truck anymore because of my video. Which I think is hilarious. So I guess I did a good job. So in this video though, we're going to flip it around. Now we're going to talk about all the things that I absolutely love about my new Toyota Tundra Generation 3. This is an SR5 Crew Max 4x4 with the air suspension and the 14-inch screen, all that good stuff. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But yeah, this is it. This is my brand new truck. I've had it for a couple weeks now. And let's talk about all the things that I love about this truck. Let's talk about why I think this truck is leaps and bounds better than my Gen 2 2014 TRD off-road that I used to own. But as you can see, this thing is gorgeous and I love it. This one is in the color MGM, or magnetic gray metallic, and it looks stunning. I think this is one of the best colors in my opinion, just because I like gunmetal gray in general. When the sun hits the paint, you can see the glitter on the hood here. Man, it is just gorgeous, man. Look at that. Love it. Absolutely love it. The paint job is amazing, but what I really love about this specific trim that I bought is that the grill is color matched. I already said this in my show and tell video when I first got the truck. So a lot of this stuff is going to be kind of redundant because I already point out all the things that I noticed in my show and tell video. But after driving this thing roughly 500 miles and owning it for about a month, I have a much better understanding of what I love about this truck. But just the aesthetics alone, the fact that they color match this grille surround here to match the bumper and the body and the hood, it just looks so nice when it's color matched. No chrome on the grille surround, no chrome in the grille, no chrome on the bumpers, no chrome on the mirrors, no chrome on the cab. A lot of times this trim right here will be chrome on the Limited, no chrome on the handles. Nothing. I also love the fact that it has LED fog lights built in. I don't have to buy fog lights, and these things work really great at night. Another thing that I love about the Gen 3 Tundra is the design of the fenders. Look at that. So if you stand right about here, you can see that this SR5 has kind of bulging fenders with this accent that goes along here. So if we stand back, you can see it here too. So over each wheel, there's a bulging fender, which I really like that. I also love the fact that it has functioning air scoops right there that actually grabs the air coming through. And probably I would assume there's a funnel that goes to the turbos, because this is a twin turbo V6, 3.5 liter V6 twin turbo. So you need air, a lot of air, to feed those turbos. So I'm assuming because this has a turbo on each side of the engine and it has an intercooler on each side of the engine, that's a functioning intake for the turbo. And you got another one over here, which I really like. Gone are the days of the fake hood scoop. My Gen 2 had a fake hood scoop here, which I didn't like. And then higher trim models, they even glued a fake hood scoop on top of the fake hood scoop, which I thought was ridiculous. No offense to anybody that has those fake hood scoops, but man, I hate fake hood scoops. I hate chrome and I hate fake hood scoops. I also love the fact that it has LED lights, which is awesome, and these also adjust up and down. There's a lever inside, a little button you can scroll and make the headlights go high or low depending on how this truck is configured. Like if you had a trailer that puts your front end a little bit up and the tail down, you can bring the headlights down so you don't blind people But I have the air ride suspension, so we'll talk about that here in a minute. I love the fact that it has 6 cameras. So there's a camera there in the front, so I can see if there's anything up here that might hit my truck. I also have sensors here too that also go off if there's anything up here in the front. But I really like the fact that there's a camera. So if there's a rock, a log, a curb, a vehicle, stuff in my garage, I can literally see what's in front of the truck. You got the bird's eye view, the tailgate, but you can also look at the front bumper, which is nice. Or you can look at your side view mirrors, looking to the rear if you had a trailer, or if you want to look towards the front, like basically like ditch cameras. That's pretty awesome for rock crawling. That right there is leaps and bounds better than any truck I've ever owned, and a big part of why I bought this truck, because of this right here. That's amazing. But if you hit the view button, now I can see my garage because there's a camera on the front, and I got the bird's eye view right there as well. Watch this. So I can pull in and literally just use the cameras to perfectly fit this big ass truck in my garage. Look at that. That is just game changing. I love it. I can see what the front bumper sees. There's also sensors, because they'll probably beep here in a second. And then there's also the bird's eye view. I can see everything around me. And then I can also see when I'm inside the garage, because there's the line right there. And that's it. Parking perfection. And then over here you have another camera underneath both of the mirrors, and then there's 2 more cameras back here. One of those cameras actually looks back at your trailer, or acts as your rear view camera for your panoramic digital rear view mirror that we'll talk about more when we go inside. And then there's a second camera that angles down into the back of the bed. When you want to check the cargo in the back of your truck, all you do is hit the button right there, view, and bam, you can see what's in the back of your truck. That is so cool. It only does it for a few seconds, and then it goes back to navigation. But that's nice. I like that. The 5.5 foot bed is small. I'm not going to be sleeping back there because I'm taller than 5'5", obviously, so I can't just sleep back there. But after owning a Gen 2 with a 6.5 foot bed, I learned that I didn't need a 6.5 foot bed. 99% of the time this truck is getting used as a family vehicle, so 5 bicycles will fit back here, or our camping gear, or a barbecue and an ice chest, you know, that kind of stuff. So this is a perfect, basically a perfect family vehicle for me anyways, and I love it. Another thing that I love about this truck is the texture that they put on here. This is a spray-on bed liner, but this is not like any other spray-on bed liner you've ever seen before. This one is like 50 grit sandpaper. I mean, I don't know if you can see that. Can you guys see that? It is crazy rough. And the reason why they did that is if you had toolboxes back here or other gear, it's not just going to slide around all over the place like with the plastic bed liners that you normally see in these trucks, or even the other spray-on bed liners that are still kind of slick. This is definitely a non-skid spray-on bed liner, which is really nice. You can kind of see the thickness. It's really thick. Love it. I like that it has these slots where you can put pieces of wood. I might actually put some wood back here, because when you're using this like a trunk, you'll put gear here and then close the trunk or close the tailgate, and then when you hit the brakes, all your stuff flies forward. Another thing that I love about this specific trim, I got the power package, so I have LED lights in the truck bed, which don't come on all SR5s. So that light turns on, that light and the top lights all turn on when you hit a lever in the cab. There's a little button. You can set those to come on when you open the doors, or you can turn it off. You don't have to have them come on. But it lights up this truck like a Christmas tree back here at night. It's fantastic. I also have the 120 volt wall plug right here, which is nice. AC 120 volt. It's 400 watts when the engine's running and 100 watts when the engine's off. So not the most powerful, but for sure you can charge your cell phone, drone batteries, camera batteries, run a laptop, things like that. I'm pretty sure you can run a laptop. I don't think you can run power tools and refrigerators, but phones and batteries, you're good to go for the most part. And then another thing that's nice on this trim, I actually wasn't expecting this when I bought it, but it has the mounting rail system here. I don't even know what they call them, but there's these cleats you can actually lock in here and adjust to any position, so the rail goes all the way around. So that's kind of nice. I like that. And then another thing that I love about the new Gen 3s is almost all of the Gen 3s have the rear window that rolls down. Matter of fact, let me show you what that looks like. That wasn't available on a lot of the trims on the Gen 2, but now all of the trucks have that, except for the base SR, which is the cheapest one. Everything else, SR5, Limited, Platinum, all the way up to the Capstone, everybody gets roll down rear windows, and no one else in the truck industry does that. That is a very unique Toyota Tundra feature that I absolutely love. I love the fact that the new Tundra's fender wells are bigger than the Gen 2s. So if I really wanted to, I could run 35s in here without lifting the truck and without cutting much. Actually, I think you would have to push back some of these mud guards in the inside to fit 35s, but you could fit 35s. You could do it with very minor trimming. But these are 295/70 17s, so these are in the realm of 33.5 34s, and they look really good on this truck. I do not have a lift kit on this SR5. This is just a factory height from the dealership. The sidewalls on these things are pretty tall, so it does lift the truck up just a little bit more than factory. I'd say I probably gained an inch just by putting the tires alone as far as height goes. And that's a nice stance. That is nice for a factory truck with no lift. That's a nice look, man. Not too tall, not too low. Nice big beefy tires, and it rides nice. And then if I lift this truck, I'm probably going to put the Westcott Designs lift kit, or maybe the Rough Country, I'm not sure. But Westcott Designs out of Arizona has a lift kit for the air ride suspension trucks. So we'll see if I can hook up with those guys and lift this thing. I'm probably just going to do the mild lift. I don't want to go more than 3 inches. I think that would look really nice though. 17s fit. You would think that 17s would hit the calipers, but they actually do not hit the calipers. So very nice. Oh, and that's another thing that I love about the new Gen 3s. The lug pattern is different now. In the Gen 2s, you had a 5 lug pattern, but the new ones, the Gen 3s, this one here has a 6 lug pattern. So it's a 6 by 139.7 is what I think it is. That's exactly the same as the Tacoma. So if you have Tacoma wheels in 17 or above, you got some TRD wheels you want to throw in this thing, you can do that. You want to put some Tacoma TRD wheels on, you can absolutely do that. Just make sure you have bigger tires to make it look right. All right, so let's talk about the motor. Let's take a look. There we go. Yeah, the V8's not available anymore. 5.7 liter V8 is gone. Now they have the 3.5 liter twin turbo V6. And at first I was like, no, I don't want a turbo vehicle, too complicated, blah, 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 right? I was one of those guys at first. I was like, no, I just want a naturally aspirated big old V8. There's no replacement for displacement, as they say. And I was one of those guys. Then I started doing my homework. I was like, oh, wait a minute. This is the same motor that they had in the Lexus L500, I think it's called. And it's a 3.5 liter twin turbo V6. And they've been running this turbo V6 motor in the Lexus for like 5 years now. So they have a lot of experience with this motor. Yeah, they had a few wastegate issues in the very beginning, but Toyota fixed that right away because you don't see any more complaints about it. It was on the low numbers 12, on the high numbers maybe 100. I don't really know, but I haven't seen anything at all about it. And it's already March 2022 and I don't hear anything about it. So they fixed that problem as far as I'm concerned. My truck has zero issues at all, so I'm not worried about it. And even if I had an issue with my truck, I would hope that Toyota gives me a loaner vehicle and fixes it. What more can you ask for if the company fixes the problem, right? Every single forum of vehicles has complaints, no matter what company you go with this. If you're wondering, do I like it? Yes, I do like it. And the reason why I like it is because the dang thing performs. Holy crap, I've been driving this thing for almost a month now, and when you got your foot on the pedal, those turbos spool up. This sucker hauls ass. Turbos don't play around, man. They're small, so they spool up really quick. There's hardly any turbo lag. And if you watch another YouTuber, his name is the Car Care Nut, I believe it is. He's an actual mechanic, and he goes in detail and talks about this engine. And he was talking about how this twin turbo V6 has been around for 5 years. He talks about how each turbo on each side has its own intercooler. Instead of a big intercooler in the front, it kind of feeds both turbos. Each turbo has its own individual intercooler, which, I mean, that makes it way more efficient and more reliable. And also too, he was saying how the turbo's cooling system will stay on and help those turbos stay cool even when you turn the truck off, so you don't have that overheating of the turbos, the coking of the oil and the lubricants. If you don't know what coking is, look it up. They got that ironed out with these new modern day turboed engines. There's a reason why the Raptor EcoBoost is so good. And it's had its issues as well, but now in 2022, pretty much all these new Eco Diesels and EcoBoosts, and now the twin turbo V6 and the Tundra, these things are all good engines now, and they're powerful, man. This thing pumps out, I forgot the exact specs, but this thing pumps out, I think it was 395 or 98 horsepower. That's almost 400 horsepower, guys. That's way more than what my Gen 2 V8 had. Of course, I had the 4.6 liter V8, but even the 5.7 liter V8 is not 400 horsepower. And then the torque with the twin turbo V6, this thing is almost 500 foot-pounds of torque, and you feel it. In eco mode, it's impressive. You put the sucker in sport mode, and it'll probably chirp these tires. I haven't tried it yet because I don't want to abuse my truck, but it'll put you back in the seat. When I got on the highway to catch up and pass people, man, in sport mode, this sucker was ripping it, man. I love it. I love those turbos. And then the other thing that I love about this specific Tundra and this specific engine, I love the fact that it's quiet. Everybody wants a loud V8. I said this in my show and tell video when I first got the truck. I love the fact that this thing's really quiet. It's dang near stealth. You know, when you get older, you know, you're on your front lawn telling kids, get off my lawn, turn down that radio, music's too loud. That's me. I'm an old man now. And I love the fact that this thing's quiet. So when I'm cruising around out in these canyons, or maybe up in the Sierra, up in the mountains, I don't want people to know I'm there. I want this thing to be quiet, and it is crazy quiet. I love it. Another thing that I absolutely love about my specific truck is the fact that my model has an airbag suspension. So I got the SR5 Premium with Air Ride. And if you look back here, and I mentioned this in my show and tell video when I first bought the truck, there's the top of the airbags, and there is the bags. Underneath that accordion looking thing is an airbag system. There's no steel springs, it's just airbags. And then I also love the fact that they've upgraded the truck to have this multi-link suspension in the rear. See these links here? It's like a drag link or trailing link with a sway bar. So more modern, way softer and smoother on the highway, and articulates pretty good off-road as well. So absolutely love that. If I'm towing something, I can either hit this button here on the right, and I can just automatically set it to go up and level out the rear of the truck if it's sagging down from a trailer, or if I have a payload back there. Or I could hit this button and it'll automatically go down, and for whatever, I don't know what kind of situation I need to go down, but you can do that. Or you can manually adjust it, so you can fine-tune the exact height you want the rear end. So that's really cool. I love the fact that it has a trailer brake controller integrated into the dash. I don't have to have one of those aftermarket sticky things that you put on here. It's built into the truck. Thank you, Toyota, for making black Softex interior. This interior is awesome. Love it. I mean, it just looks really good. This is the nicest vinyl interior I've ever seen on any vehicle. I mean, if you're not paying attention, you would think that this is leather. I mean, the perforations and the stitching details and the bolstering where you're sitting down in the seat, not on top of it, it's just really good looking. It's not leather, and you know, to be honest with you, when you have Softex this nice, you're not going to want leather, really. I mean, maybe you will, I don't know, but I'm not going to miss leather with these seats. And I actually do plan on covering these up anyway, so it's kind of like a useless point of buying leather if you're going to put seat covers. And I put seat covers because we're going to go camping and take this thing in the dirt, so it just makes sense to protect your stuff, keep the dirt off your seats. And then when you go to resell them, you can take the seat covers off and they'll be like, dang, these seats look brand new. I also like the fact that these are powered. I have I believe these are called 8-way powered seats with airbags in the seats, and they're also heated. So here in Reno, you know, we get freezing temperatures, we get snow, and I like the fact that I can warm my butt up in the wintertime. And also the passenger seat has a seat warmer as well. My Gen 2 TRD off-road did not have heated seats. It did not have power. I had a bar in the front, a metal bar that I had to scooch my butt to move it up and back. So that is leaps and bounds better than my TRD off-road Gen 2 that I had. I also love the fact that I got the fitted Tundra floor mats that are locked in with locks, and it says Tundra on there. Really like those. Those are pretty much a must when you have a 4x4 truck, because look, you get dirt, you step on the dirt, and then you bring the dirt in. You got to have really good floor mats, and these suckers are super thick. Look at that, nice and thick. If you spill anything in there, they'll catch it like a bowl. I absolutely love that Toyota brought back the driver's side grab handle. On my Gen 2, there was no handle here. You could pop off this cover and then purchase a grab handle from like sparksparts.com and put the grab handle on here. But for whatever reason, the Gen 2 is just, they deleted it for some reason. It still had the screw holes from the factory hidden underneath some plastic, but they just didn't offer it as an option. Not even at the factory, like when you purchased the truck. It wasn't an option. This one, they brought it back, and I love it. Thank you, Toyota. There's one over there. Being a Gen 2 Tundra owner, coming to the Gen 3, especially with the premium technology upgrade, this is phenomenal. They did a fantastic job in here. The fit and finish, the materials, they're just nice, man. I like the fact that this window here, this armrest is flat and it's large. Let me turn this thing on here. Let's do the accessory. I love the fact that it has a push button ignition. We just hit the accessories, turn it on, roll down the window here. But watch this. This is nice. Look at that. Nice and wide, so when you're just chilling, sitting in the driver's seat here, you're nice and comfortable. And then the driver's side, again, nice and soft here, comfortable when your arm is just chilling there for long drives. That's nice, and it's soft. It is really, really premium feeling in here. And this is an SR5, guys. This is not a limited and above. This thing is just a lowly little SR5, and it feels really nice. The fact that this whole design here is a center console setup where the shifter's in the center versus up on the column like my Gen 2 was. I know that's debatable as well. Some people like the column shifter with the 3-row seats. I did enjoy that, but I never really took advantage of it. Didn't really need it. this center console makes you feel like you're sitting in a high-end sports car. But it feels premium even though this is an SR5, and I love it. It is really nice. I got the leather steering wheel as well with the SR5 Premium, which of course adds to that nice feeling. There's a whole bunch of controls here that I won't go into detail on. You guys probably seen videos already on what these things can do. I got the tech package, so everything's been upgraded inside as far as the tech goes. So 14-inch Jumbotron screen, which I love. I didn't think I was going to like it at first because I thought it was a little too big. But now that I'm in it and I use it and I've been driving this, I love it, man. Of course, I love the fact that this is a four-wheel drive truck. 2 high, 4 low, which is awesome, especially since I live in Reno and I'm in close proximity to the mountains and the deserts. I'm going to need a four-wheel drive, and it's just nice to have that four-wheel drive capability. Another thing that I really love about this Tundra versus the Gen 2s is the 10-speed transmission. I mean, the 6-speed was okay, it got the job done, but this 10-speed, after driving it now for almost a month, this is a whole nother level. I mean, it's a game changer for me personally. It's super smooth. It changes gears, and I barely even know it's changing gears. There's no thud. There's no clunking. That 10-speed transmission is really nice. Absolutely love it. I think that is another huge selling point to going with the Gen 3 versus the Gen 2 is that 10-speed automatic transmission. So you do have drive mode here, and there's a knob. So if you look up here, as you move that knob, you'll see Eco, Normal, and Sport. And what that does, in a nutshell, I'm not a mechanic or an engineer, but that basically retunes the engine electronically to perform different. So on Eco, you'll use less fuel. On Normal, you'll get a mix of economy and power. And then on Sport, boom, you'll take off and you'll spin the tires with those turbos, but you'll probably use up more gas. But that's nice that you have that. I also have tow haul mode, so when I'm towing, I can, again, switch the computers in the truck to adjust this truck to tow better. So the shift points in the transmission, they're going to be more efficient. Another thing that I love is the center console is huge. You've probably seen this in all kinds of reviews, how big the center console is, but it's huge. You got 2 cup holders here. Again, there's 2 cup holders in the back. There's a lot of space here for your gear. And say you have a passenger here and his elbow or her elbow is here and you want to get inside here, you don't have to say, hey, move your arm, I'm going to lift this up. You don't have to do that. You can just slide that over and get whatever it is you need to get out of here. That's kind of nice. I like that. And then when you do get this thing up, there's a button right here. Just hit that and the whole thing opens up. Inside here, there's a bunch of little cubbies for coins and USBs, and there's even removable walls in here. So if you want to adjust this thing to whatever you want, you can do that. And I'm sure somebody will 3D print all kinds of cool stuff to put in here later. But love it. That thing is huge. I love it. Another thing that I love is that my SR5 has power folding mirrors and they're heated. So when it's frosted outside, I leave my truck outside and it's all frosted over, they'll heat up and it'll melt right off. And here's a button right here. You hit that and both mirrors fold in. Love it. Absolutely love it. Another thing that I like is that this is a modern truck and it has all kinds of power options. So I have a 12-volt power source there with a nice cubby. You can put stuff there, it's not going to fly around. A USB port in the dash right there. 2 USB ports inside the cargo hold here. And then a 120-volt wall charger right there. So quite a bit of power options in this model. And I'm sure it gets even more crazy with the Limited and other higher trims. But for this SR5, it has a lot of power ports for an SR5. That's cool. So another big, huge selling point about this truck that I absolutely love, better than my Gen 2 that I had, is the humongous 32.2 gallon tank. I mean, this thing has a very large tank. There's a smaller tank that's available, I guess, on the cheaper SR models. There's a smaller tank, but mine came with a 32.2 gallon tank. I just filled it up, and as you can see, this thing has a range of 448 miles per fill up. That is worth every penny. I love that. That's a lot of range. That's almost 500 miles on one tank of gas. Another thing that I love is my panoramic rearview mirror. And this is just not any rearview mirror. It is a digital rearview mirror. So watch this. There it is in regular mode. Okay, cool. But watch this. Boom, you hit it up and it turns into a digital wide angle view, panoramic. So it takes the image from the back of the cab, because there's a camera up there, and it literally enhances everything so you can see it digitally. That is cool. Look how wide, man. You can see a lot back there. And at night, it actually amplifies your night vision too, to a certain degree. You can see better at night as well. It's kind of nice. My wife says she absolutely loves it and can't live without it now. But yeah, that's an awesome panoramic digital rearview mirror. Love it. Absolutely love it. Let's look at the back. Look at that. Here's a example of how big the Crew Max is. I mean, it is big back here. I could probably sleep back here, to be honest. But yeah, look at that. It just looks really good back here. Love it. And then here's another thing that I love. Storage built in under the seat. You can put your recovery gear, camping gear, firearms, whatever. It's got the 60-40 kind of thing going on. And then here's something that the Gen 2 didn't have. It actually has storage behind the seat. The Gen 2s, you couldn't do this, at least not without modifying some things. That's nice. I love the fact that, again, I have the power package, so I have 120 volts right there with the wall plug. And then, of course, I love the fact that it has AC in the back. It can blow on the kids. Again, my Gen 2 did not have AC in the back. I'm sure the higher trim Gen 2s did, but mine didn't. So I really love the fact that this does that in an SR5. That's cool. Another thing that I love are all the cup holders. There's two there. There's two there. So that's 4. And then there's 2 bottle holders here. So that's 5 and 6, 7 and 8. So there's 8 places for either cups or bottles. That's nice. I got 3 kids. Another thing that I love about my specific truck, my SR5 Premium, is actually something that I don't have. I love the fact that I don't have a sunroof. I'm actually glad that I don't have it. And the reason why is because, and I mentioned this in my show and tell video from day one, having a big glass, you know, the piece of glass here that moves back and forth, it's going to vibrate. It's probably going to leak if you don't take care of the seals over time. I don't want to deal with that. Plus, as an overlanding truck, as a camping truck, I'm going to have a roof rack up here someday, probably with gear. So I'm not going to really be able to see out of it anyways. And then when you're going down dusty trails like this, well, guess what? You probably don't want that sunroof open anyway. So most of the time I would have it closed. I just would never get any use out of it. And it's also a source of water ingress over time. So I'm glad I don't have a sunroof. I like the fact that they kept the gas tank on the driver's side so I can fill my gas up easy. If you notice when I showed you the gas tank is humongous, but it's on the passenger side. So you would think that the fill would be on the passenger side. But no, they actually went the extra mile to put the gas tank filler on the driver's side and then ran a pipe over to the passenger side where the tank is. Thank you, Toyota. That was awesome. All right, guys, so there you have it. That is all the things that I love about my 2022 Toyota Tundra. Again, can't say enough about this truck, really. I mean, it's phenomenal. I know it had some growing pains in the beginning with those turbo wastegate issues, but again, that was very few. I think maybe only 100 trucks at that. And I haven't even been able to find 100 complaints, to be quite honest. So I think it's even smaller than that. But love it. Love my truck. It does everything that I need. It carries my family. It carries all our gear. This is going to be a good, reliable truck, hopefully, because it's a Toyota. It's got phenomenal resale value. If I don't like it for whatever reason, I can sell it tomorrow and literally make a profit, probably I don't know, a couple grand profit just being a used truck because the demand's so high. Probably not so much now that gas costs so much, but we'll see how that plays out with this whole gas crisis. But in general, this is a badass truck. Love it. All right, guys, hit that like button to support my channel. I appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. Ring the bell to be notified when I upload new videos. And leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about my 2022 Toyota Tundra SR5 Premium. The things that I liked, did they make sense to you? All right, guys. Take care. Have a good one.